Good morning, chaps. How are you? Hope you're all okay, and chapettes. Right, first update in a week and a half. I apologise. Just get this out of the way first. Started a new. It's not a new job, but it's a new department of the job that I'm in already, which I'm quite chuffed with. Just a lot of work trying to get the department back into shape with the other two staff I'm working with. But yeah, it's great. I'm really enjoying it. It's just once it's all sorted and done, it's supposed to be Monday to Friday, and then 1 weekend and 3 on call. So, and then majority of that weekend, unless people phone in sick, you're sort of at home anyway. So it's not too bad. And it's 9 till 5 ideally as well. So hopefully a lot more time at the bench and rugby, more time for rugby as well, which is great, and more time with my little boy too. So right, I've got that part of the way. Yeah, it's update 2, I think, of Joe's group build, the T-34 group build. I've had this kit is now, which I'll show you in a minute, new enough done. I've got a couple of other kits which I'm adding to the diorama. I've now know what the diorama is going to be, so I've got it all planned out and drawn up and everything, so I know exactly what's coming and what I need and what to do. The only thing is I've had a bit of good news obviously with the job, but as this year's been being total crap for a few of us, and it seems to, you have a bit of bright light and then suddenly it just goes downhill again. I was doing a bit of airbrushing last night for the first time in about 4 or 5 days. I've had a chance to do anything on modelling at all, and so I heard this pop, and I thought that's a bit strange, and I could smell something that didn't smell very good, and I thought, well, it seems okay, so I carried on. Two minutes later, no air whatsoever out the airbrush, and there's a smell of burning and all sorts. So basically the compressor's gone kaput. So I'm just absolutely fed up to the back teeth of getting things sort of going and happy again, and then something comes along and destroys it all. So I'm now at a loss because I've got no compressor whatsoever. So I've just lost, so I just don't know what to do. So I can only build at the minute. So this one is all built and everything, which you'll see in a minute, and there's bits of paint on it, so I'll show you that in a minute. I've got 2 figure kits to do, which I've started one of them, and I've also got the other T-34, which is a Tamiya kit, which I'll show you in a bit, to do as well. So yeah, it's just obviously searching around now for an half decent compressor really. But yeah, I'm a bit gutted and down in the dumps with that, which is typical. So anyway, yeah, let's move on. So this is the T-34 I'm doing with the mine plough. In the diorama, this is going to be on a long road, which is going to be like a shelf-like piece of wood. I was going to do it in a field like this, and it's digging it all up. But what I'm actually going to do is it's going to be on a road, travelling down the road. This convoy of 3 vehicles it's going to be. There's 2 T-34s, and I won't tell you what the 3rd vehicle is going to be. And then basically at the end of the piece of wood or the road is going to be like a fence leading into a field with a couple of trees, which Bees is kindly donating to me because I'm crap at trees, which I'll show you in a minute. I did make a quick go of one, making out of copper wiring and basically wet kitchen roll and that, which is with glue and that, which has gone, well, it's primed but it looks shite, but I'll show you that in a bit. So yeah, and then it's going to be basically the preparing to go through this field, hence why the mine roller and that will be in the front. The mine roller T-34 is going to have quite a bit of battle damage because obviously it's the first one in the convoy, and obviously it'll take the brunt from the mines and all that type of thing. So and it's not going to have any tank riders or crew hatches open, because obviously if it's going to about to go over some mines or possible mines, the crew are going to be safely in the tank, all secure out the way. So and obviously any sort of soldier with the right mind ain't going to ride on the back of that T-34. So yeah, right. So let's move on. Let's move this kit out on CV, and then let's get T-34. Right. So there she is at the minute, guys. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, you can. So at this minute in time, let's get a pointy stick. So I haven't got the mine roller attached, nor are these properly, because I need to obviously take those off so I can paint the rest of them. It's primed with the Ultimate Primer, UMP Primer. And what I have done is, I don't know if you'll actually see on camera, but I have added a bit of what's it called, Mr. Surfacer 500 is it, or something, to add a bit of cast texture on and make it look a bit rusty when I apply the rust to it, because a lot of pictures I've found of these, which are not many at all because there's not many out there, are very, very rusty, because a lot of them after the reuse were taken off the T-34s and just basically left in camp or back at the barracks or wherever, ready to be put onto the T-34s and wherever what other vehicles had them attached, and we're ready to go. So that's going to be basically a bit like the picture on the front of the tank and the box art. It's going to be a little bit rusty and that. I've left off a few at the teeth just so it looks like it's been a bit damaged. So that's the mine roller. Lovely though, that bit was absolutely lovely, it went together, no problem at all. The only problem with the kit is it's very, very thin plastic, extremely thin plastic. The rear fender at the back here is very, very thin. But fit issues and gaps, there was barely any whatsoever. There was just seam lines on absolutely everything, even these rails that you had to attach separately. So of course, I got my X-Acto knife and just gradually just scraped it along really carefully, and it seems to have done the job okay. The tow cables are actually the kit ones, because the tow horns at the end, the hooks, were actually attached already to the thing, so I didn't do that. The aerial is made out of copper wiring, and one of the research pictures I actually had was this one being a mine rolling T-34 had a lot of the kit's accessories, like bits of extra metal and tank tracks and everything all plastered on the front for sort of more protection from obviously the mine blasts and everything. So I've sort of added extra track links onto the front there. They're going to be rusted up and weathered. The gun barrel, you probably won't see it, but the gun barrel is done out of the old crafty technique of the Contactor Professional. Just the barrel on the end of it, just cut a bit off, because it's already hollowed out as well from obviously where the glue comes, and just stuck on, because the gun barrel on this was terrible. It was like an extremely thin piece of plastic. Underneath, I don't know if from the last anybody that watched the last video of mine, I added Humbrol filler underneath the bottoms, so I don't know if you can see it all that well, just so it's ready for, I'm going to paint it all brown and green and bits, you know, with that type of thing, and that's going to be the mud and everything. I can't make my mind up whether I'm going to leave this the basic green as it is, and then weather and cold and add the winter camo onto the other kits, or add a bit onto this. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, damaged the fenders on the front of this one there. I've removed the rear fender on that one completely off, so it looks like it's battle damaged. I've left the box fuel drums off the back there because I don't particularly like them, but yeah, it is what it is, it's okay. I did wonder that if there was T-34s that actually had none of the either barrel sort of fuel drums on or the box ones, and if there was any T-34s that didn't have any on, and there is. I've seen them out there. There is quite a few actually. So yeah, this is Vesda kit. It seems okay. It's kit number 3580. So if anybody wants to know, it moves fine. The turret moves fine. The gun barrel moves up and down, no problem at all. You can have the hatches open or closed, but obviously for the reasons I said at the beginning, I'm leaving them closed. Yeah, it's an extremely basic kit, but to be fair, it's okay. You know, it's done up nicely, and as you say, you know, like John says, the kits, doesn't matter how cheap they are, you know, you can make it the cheapest of kits look excellent, and you can, you know, with a bit of weathering in time. So yeah, so that's that. The wheels, let's have a quick look at the wheels. I've done a couple that are obviously the green colour, and the others that are like a dark rust tracks colour, which are from MIG. This one is, which is rust tracks, which is AMIG 034, which is a nice sort of dark rusty colour, which is quite nice. Yeah, and also guys, the base colour I've used for this Vesda one is AMIG 019, which is Forbio Russian Green. So they're the ones that I've used for that. But yeah, it's a nice rusty colour. I have, like I showed in the last video, battle damaged a lot of their wheels. So it does look like they've gone through quite a bit of damage and that. I don't know if you'll see on the rust. In fact, this is probably one of the better ones I've done. Taking chips out here and there. So it looks okay. They'll be all, like I say, weathered up and chipped and whatever else over time. So that's that. The tracks, I've gone with the rusty colour of the wheels. But again, I'm going to add a bit more lighter rust stuff on. Perhaps do that with a rust wash actually. And then go back over it with silver and, you know, whatever else to make it look a bit more metallic. These are the typical rubber band tracks, which I do actually like, to be honest, especially when you've got quite a few kits to do for shall we say, a quick amount of time, I suppose. They aren't particularly great because these are this is one side of the vehicle's tracks, but they actually came in two bits, so you have to seal it in the middle. But again, with a bit of craftiness, you can hide it and add a bit of mud and whatever else, so he properly hides the join. So that's not a problem really. So yeah, that's that kit. Then we come to the next sort of kit, which I will be doing for this build, which will be the one that everybody seems to be doing in this group build, the Tamiya 1943 T-34-76, which is kit number 35059. I've gone through it and I've gone through the instructions and marked off bits and taken bits off what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the later version, so it's going to have the Commander's cupola on. I'm also going to add the, not all of them, because a lot of these T-34s had mixed wheels, so they'd have the steel ones and they'd have a couple with the rubber bands around. So that's going to have that on. This is going to possibly be a two-tone camouflage colour, which is going to be the green obviously, and then a light Russian brown. But I am going to do the white camouflage onto this. I can't make my mind up whether I'm going to use the old hairspray technique, or I'm going to be using either the AK heavy chipping fluid or the AK worn effects, but I'm not too sure yet. The heavy chipping is AK089 and the worn effects is AK088, so I'm not too sure yet. I think the heavy chipping I might add onto the lower hull and the upper hull, and the worn effects I might add to perhaps the turret. Again, I'm not too sure yet. A massive thank you goes out to Matt Hill, who supplied this kit for me. He sent it. Well, he sent the money to Si, and big thanks to Si too, who helped in the process of getting this kit to me. So thank you very much. And also, which was a nice surprise, in the kit was this, the AK set, which I'm going to be using on this kit. 4BO Russian Greens sort of modulation set, which is great. I can't wait to use this, try it out. I will admit I've never got on with AK paints, but I did use a bit of AK paint on one of the other builds and it seems to have come out no problem at all, so I'm going to give them a good go. This is a set AK553, so we'll give that a good go and see how that turns out. And also he sent me a wash as well, an AK wash, which I've now put away, so I'm probably not going to find it anywhere. Let me just see if I can find it. I'll put it away ready to use, and of course I can't flaming find it now, can I? Oh, that's it. Matt very kindly also did, sorry guys, sent me this, which was the enamel wash dark brown for green vehicles, which is AK045. So thanks very much, Matt. That's a really nice gesture of you. And like I say, with having this new job now, all you guys that have helped me out these last couple of months are going to get, shall we say, a little something in the post. So yeah, that's that one. So on the back of that kit and the other kit, which I'm not going to tell you about, are going to be a few selected figures from this set. Now, a few of you guys out there that have watched my videos have said when I originally showed that I'd got this, how many times you've been looking at this set and wanted to buy it. So I think before I actually cut anything off the sprues and that, I might do a quick inbox review, perhaps the first one of the year for you, because I will say, guys, it's not the cheapest of figure sets. It's £11 from eModels here in Britain, but for £11 you get 12 figures, numerous accessories and numerous weapons as well. So it really is great money for its great value for its money, really. So I can't knock it. So there's going to be a couple of figures off there that I'm going to select. So yeah, I haven't touched that one though yet. And then the other set is this one, which I've already started, which are these two guys here. Now, I'm going to say I'm extremely disappointed. It's a 2017 kit. It didn't cost the world. It was about £8 or £9, I think. The kit number is 35226, and the fit of the figures is terrible. I've only done 2 so far, and each figure took nearly 2 hours to construct and clean up. I don't know if you can see on this one, but I've used the old sprue glue on a lot of the joins here. The hats and the woolly, winter dress didn't fit. There's a big gap still down the side there. I will say one thing though, they do sit on the vehicle lovely, so that's quite nice. But again, yeah, there's that much filling and that and cleaning up of seam lines. There's seam lines on absolutely everything. So yeah, that one's primed already. But again, I've cut the weapon off, the sprues ready for him, just to see. And no matter which position or playing around with his hands, the weapon does not fit at all in his hands. So it looks like I'm going to have to sort of chop up the weapon and do some bits of somehow to try and get him the weapon looking okay on that. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing the other three, but I suppose, you know, we're modelers and that's what we enjoy. It's just a shame really, because, you know, this day and age 2017 kit from sort of a bigger firm like Mini Art, I mean, I don't know, perhaps I'm being a bit too expectatious, but I don't know, I expect a bit more from the 2017 kit. I'm not bothered about there's work involved, because obviously being modelers, that's what we expect and do, but, you know, I just think it's a bit of a shame really. I think it's more of a letdown, more so really. But anyway, we'll see how the other ones go. I'm going to, when I finish recording this, crack on with a couple more of those before I go to work, hopefully, and see how far I can get with them. I'm using this as the main guide for camouflaging and all that, and the colour guides. It really is lovely. As you can see, it gives you all different views of different vehicles and what units they were in, and colours to use. It really is fantastic to get. I've got a couple of these for different, like the German stuff, and they really are good. The other two are MiG ones though, but they are fantastic, they really are. So yeah, I'm using that one. And then also for the figures, I'm using this for sort of a bit of help with the camouflaging and all that type of stuff. This one because of the Soviet rifleman, again just to help out with a bit of the camouflage colours and the colours. And then this one for like the machine guns of the 40s, the 41s and the PPSs, because again, like, it gives you good shots of what's involved and good coloured pictures and that. So, you know, it's just a bit of help of reference guides. There's actual weapons there where it shows you the chipping and all that type of stuff and what type of strapping it had on. So, you know, it's all good stuff. So I had to put a bit of reference material. A second thank you goes out to Sol, the Life After Work channel. Check his channel out. He sent me an envelope with a few of his shot cards in. Got one there, and I've got one here just underneath the camera for when I use the other angle for recording. And there's a couple more in here. So they'll go out to a couple to remodels to stick in the front, and a couple of the guys I know that will like them. But thanks very much, Sol. I've just shown everybody my address, but I don't really care. So yeah, there you go. So that's about it, guys, really. Oh yeah, I did say I'd show you my tree. Please don't laugh. It's absolutely terrible. But it's my first attempt. It's copper wiring with a few bits of tissue with white glue involved. I did have plans for it to be obviously completely bare, with it being winter, and perhaps do it a bit black here and there as though it's been hit by shell fire or something, I don't know. But I know trees come in all different shapes and sizes, but I'm not particularly. Perhaps it's just because it's prime black and it doesn't look particularly great at the minute, I don't know. But Bees has stepped in to help me, so he's sending me a few trees. I've been waiting for a year or so now for a couple of other guys to send us some trees, but I know obviously things creep up and life kicks in, so you do tend to forget sometimes. So, but yeah, Bees is sending me a couple, so I'm looking forward to them coming through, which will hopefully help finish the diorama off, or start it, shall we say. So yeah, guys, there you go. So there's a quick update on the Joe build. I've rambled on for long enough now, so I think I'll let you go and leave and run off. I hope you're all well. Not doing any shout outs on this one. I'll do some shout outs on my sort of monthly update. Hopefully by then I might have hopefully a compressor, but very unlikely, as I just don't think I'm going to be able to get one for a few months now, so it's going to be right bad timing really, to be fair, but it's life. But there you go. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and supporting my channel. Hope you're well. I hope you'll stay safe, and may the force be with you.